Yes, first of all, I want to thank Martin and Eilif and my mentor, Eirik, for making this possible for me to come here. It's my first time here at Stanford. So I'm going to tell a little bit about myself. My name is Tora, and I work as a design manager for BANE NOR. BANE NOR is a state-owned enterprise which is responsible for maintenance and operations and construction of railway throughout the country. Before I started to work in BANE NOR for 1.5 years now, and before I started there, I worked 4 years as a consultant engineer within MIP. I was in the VDC class, which is a collaboration between Stanford and NTNU for the class of 2022-23, and together with Gunnar and the other students who are here. And I just got my certificate in the end by May. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit about my implementation and the VDC values for the client, which are us. We managed to reduce the time for client decisions by up to 70% and increase the proportion of approved documents on first delivery by approximately 40 percentage points. So the challenge that I worked with in the implementation was that we as a client uses a huge amount of time making decisions. And these decisions often consider technical solutions. And if we don't do these decisions fastly, we often get delayed and we have to do rework. So this was the case that I wanted to look into. And as you can see, this was the present process for decision making in our projects. As you can see, there's a lot of communication going back and forth between the consulting engineers and the project manager at the client. And you can also see 2 dashed boxes, which is the operations and the work in process that I wanted to look further into during my implementation. And I have this example from before we implemented VDC. We used 105 days to make a decision. That's quite a long time. So a little bit about my framework. My client objective was to double the frequency for passenger traffic at the Trønderbanen in December by 2027. And to orient you a little bit about where we are in the world, you can see Norway in the circle. And if you zoom further in, we have Trondheim in the middle of this square, and the square marks the total area of the whole portfolio, which is 12 projects. And here you can see them a little bit larger, and the small circle down there is Station at Støren, which is my specific project that I have been implementing VDC in. And for our project objectives, we had to finish the preliminary project in May 2023, and we also wanted to reduce cost from the sketching phase by 9 million kroner, which is the same as $850,000. And we also needed to get investment decisions to start constructing. I'm not going to take you through all my objectives on and controllable factors on BIM, ICE, and PPM, but to solve the decision time issue, they are the main focus of all this, and also cost. So what did we do? We adjusted our work process and started using BIM for visualization in decision-making meetings. And by doing this, we could ensure that everybody involved in the project was on board and they was comfortable with the decisions that were made, and they understand why we did these decisions. We also changed our classic project meeting into ICE sessions, and that made us get a very good collaboration with our consulting engineer, and we also managed to take a lot of decisions during the meetings, and therefore we saved a lot of time for the waiting for the consulting engineer, so we did the progress in our project. We also started to do internal reviews of the treaty model every other week. And by doing that, we made sure that everybody internally in our project team was with us all the time, and they knew what we did, and they were all comfortable with the way the project were moving. So to show you, this is my final process for decision making. And as you can see, it's a lot neater than the other one. And the reason why I have two dashed box now with ICE session instead of all this, I took all this operation and work in progress and put it into ICE sessions. And the reason why I have two is because of the way our organization are organized and work. Because not all of the decisions can be made in the project. It has to be on a higher level. So then we take the decisions that we can make, we do in the progress, in the project, we do in the first ICE session, and the other ones that we are able to make, we take in another that's internal without the consulting engineer. So it's just the project and the project manager and the ones who work in the project in-house, and also the decisions maker that we have on our higher levels. So the specific example, after implementation, we're down to 37 days. But I still think we have a lot to work with here. We could do a lot faster, but at least it's better than 105 days. So this is going to be an ongoing process in our organization to keep getting better. So what did we achieve? Using measure of the average decision time for the client and response time in BIM Collab, we were able to improve our decision time with 70%, with up to 70%. And by measuring the number of price-reducing measures implemented in the projects and also on the cut list, we were able to implement one saving for 600,000 Norwegian kroner, which is $57 US, and also we made a potential cut list with savings up to 20 million Norwegian kroners and 1.9 million US. So the fact that we have worked towards achieving objectives that we have set up for BIM, ICE, and PPM, it made us achieve one of our project objectives, and we are on our way to get the last one, this investment decision. But we don't know yet, but we're hoping. And we also are on our road to do the CO as well. So we hope it all will turn out good in the end. So to summarize it all up, the fact that we changed our working method, we managed to get a good collaboration with our consulting engineer. We did a lot of decision during our ICE sessions that led to less emails going back and forth, and the consulting engineer didn't have to wait for us to respond. They could keep on going steady forward. The result was that 65% of the documents was approved by the first delivery. And if we are about to have like 1 or 2 rounds of commenting and revisions of the documents, I think that will cost about 500 to 1 million Norwegian kroners, which is then 47,000 and 95,000 US. And the station at Stern, it's a medium-sized project for BaneNOR. And if you're going to scale this up to the large projects, then you can add 10 times. And then we are talking about quite significant savings. So during the implementation, I learned that we can gain a great benefit from working in this way, especially with considering the progress in the project. But I will also claim that we have a lot of cost savings to do, especially when it comes to commenting and revisions of documents. We have a lot of revisions normally in our project. So, and when you can save time, you can save costs. And to finish up, this is some pictures from the implementation in my project. And in BANE NOR, we have a focus that we are going to use VDC in our project. We have a lot of students taking this class together with me this year and a lot the year before. So we're about 40 people that have the certification in BANE NOR now. And we also have one mentor who is here, Ivan. And me and Ivan is also working to make like this standard ways for BANE NOR to use VDC in their projects. We call it VDC in 1, 2, 3. So we really believe in that, and that they're going to be good for us to have it, and we're looking forward to continue this very nice travel that I'm on. Thank you for your attention.